welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, I'm Patrick and I love bullet journaling art and calligraphy, and in this video we're about to create the bullet journal spread for the month of July. I'm very excited about that. Those who've seen a couple of videos of me already know that I've recently tried out gouache, and I have to say I'm absolutely obsessed. And for this plan with me I wanted to use my gouache again. So I got my Vernissage studio and my pencils that I bought for trying out gouache, and I'm very looking forward and I want to use them in today's video. Without further ado, I would say we jump right into it and we will see each other at the end of the video. From VoiceOver Me. As you can see, I was preparing my Vernissage Studio 15 gouache palette and my Vernissage brushes for me to work on today's plan with me, and now we start with the title page. As you might have already seen from the thumbnail, the theme of this month is a mountain theme. I'm very looking forward to going hiking in July, and I really wanted to use gouache again, and therefore this theme looked perfect. I already tried to create such mountains in my video of trying out gouache, and so I knew the technique to create this theme. I was only using white and ultramarine blue and mixed them together to get those various shades of blue. For almost everything, I was mainly using the Vernissage brush in size 12. I started with a very light color and painted the sky that is fading into white going downward. Then I started with the first mountain range in a light blue as well, but now a bit darker. Every time I create a mountain range, I use a darker color the further we get. When I painted the mountain range, I used a lot of water to wash out the lower end of the paint, so we get this mist effect, as if low clouds and mist are hanging in the valleys. I did this 3 times to get those mountain ranges. While the mountains were drying, I continued with some clouds. Here, I was using a very dry brush in size 6 and only used white to get the clouds look rough yet fluffy. I went over a couple of times so they get a bit more dimension, since now some areas are not entirely white, but some are. wanted to add a bit more dimension and painted the right sides of all mountains a bit lighter, as if the sun is shining on them. I used pure white for the farthest mountains and added more and more blue to the paint so there is not too much contrast. After that is done, I was going in with my calligraphy pen and the black ink from Winsor & Newton and wrote July on the center of the right page. This time I wanted a loose modern script, so I went in a bit freestyle, and this bouncy lettering is the result. One thing I always did as a precaution was to put paper between the pages when I turn the page, since the painting is still not 100% dry, so the colors won't mix in places where they shouldn't. The next spread is the monthly overview. For this, you might have guessed it, I drew another set of mountain ranges in various shades of blue. This time, I mainly used gouache on the bottom of the page and did not paint a sky. When it comes to the monthly overview itself, I was thinking about using white to create all the boxes that are 5x5 in size, but I ended up not liking it, so I used Tombow dual brush pens in color 451, 452 and 772 to create the effect of the boxes being glass or bubbles or so. For this to work above the mountains, I used white with enough water to make the area of the boxes lighter, and yet for the blue to be able to shine through. To me, it looks a bit off and not the way I imagined it, but I started to use the pink, so I went all in with the colors and still added those details everywhere. What do you think about it? Please tell me in the comments what I could have done differently, or if you have any tips for me in general on how to make glass or bubbles. For the monthly overview to be complete, I wrote July on the top left corner, added the days of the week in my Tombow Dual brush pen in color 452, as well as the days of the month in color 451. And the overview is The last spread of this plan with me is the weekly spread for the first week of July. Here I wanted to add the mountain ranges on the top of the double page, as if there is a large window on top with the weekly overview below. So I started with the sky again and added 2 mountain ranges. Since I saw that another range did not fit, I used more blue to darken the second mountain range and finished it off by using pure ultramarine blue for this more or less neat border. I used my handy-dandy divider guide that comes with a Scribbles That Matter notebook to draw out 4 vertical boxes per page using my Tombow Dual brush pen in color 451. I wrote the day of the week on top using my calligraphy pen and the day of the month on the bottom with the small tip of my light blue brush pen, and that finishes up the plan with me. Here is a small overview of all the spreads. I'm really proud of how the theme turned out. Alright guys, we have created the bullet journal spreads for July. Honestly, I'm so proud of myself, and I think they turned out so pretty. I really enjoy those mountains, and honestly, just looking at those spreads, I wanna immediately change clothes and go hiking because it's just amazing. And gouache is such a gorgeous medium. Honestly, if you would like to start with something, whether it is watercolor, gouache or whatever, for me, I believe, well, I do not have all of the references of everything, but right now it seems like gouache is a very good medium to start because it allows you to make a lot of errors. Because if you make an error, you can just paint over it because, you know, you can layer and layer and layer using gouache. One particular thing that I would like to say is if you have a bullet journal and would like to use gouache in your bullet journal, then please consider the fact that if you are using a lot of water, it can bleed through, or it can happen that the paint is actually getting to the next page, which happened in my weekly spread. It has a little bit of color from the monthly overview that has bled a bit on the edges, but if you, for example, don't really care, just as I do, or maybe you can also integrate it into the next page or whatever, then I think you're fine. And the only thing that I would like to mention again here is I have a Scribbles That Matter notebook which has 160 GSM, and if you do have a notebook that does not have as thick paper, I would not suggest to use gouache on that thinner paper. You can create images on, for example, watercolor paper and then glue that in. I mean, that is always a possibility, but then I would just advise you to take care of your paper because it might actually not work in that case. Now we have come to the end of this video. Please, if you've come this far, comment a mountain emoji. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a like. If you'd like to see more of me, of my bullet journaling, art and calligraphy content, then please subscribe. And with that, I want to thank you very much for watching, and we will see each other in my next video. Bye!